Hey, this is Dr. Chris at White House Chiropractic. I'm here with Aaron, and today it is Wednesday, and I just thought it would be really good if we could talk about strategies for your health. So I'll ask my patients, what are you doing for your health? That's kind of a more important topic now that we have COVID.
Now that we have COVID.
Yeah, or it has us, depending on how you look at it. There's a lot of people that COVID actually has.
True.
Yeah, and unfortunately what's happening, just like any other infectious disease, just like the flu, is it takes a lot of the older folks. Or a lot of the people are on medication, or a lot of people that have a compromised health situation.
Correct.
Okay, and so I wanted to just discuss some strategies that I use for my health, or that I share with my patients, that you could also utilize, that are very effective. And so,
let me guess, wear a mask.
wear a mask.
Sure.
We did that for Halloween already, right? I really don't want to talk about that.
I'm sorry.
I did not go to school to learn about wearing a mask. All right?
Sorry, I brought it up.
Yeah. We could talk about that, but anyhow. So strategies. So if you look at the word disease and you put a hyphen between dis and ease, what do you get?
Uneasiness.
Uneasiness, or dis-ease, a state of dis-ease or a state of stress. Okay? And so one of the best strategies that you can use is to manage your stress. Know your weaknesses. Know where a lot of your stress comes from. If you're somebody that has had a very stressful life, guess what? You're very susceptible to developing a disease process or a sickness or an illness, more so than somebody that has not had a lot of an accumulated stress load. And so, so by reducing any kind of a stress in your body, that can improve your immune system function. Okay, so if you were to look at stress and immune system function, they're very closely related. All right, so the more stress you have, the more stress is put on your immune system. And all of these things are controlled by your nervous system, which, as a chiropractor, that's what we focus on. We focus on removing stress from the nervous system by taking stress off of it when we adjust somebody's spine in an area that has stress. Okay? And so there can be physical stressors, like say if you were in a car accident, or say if you sit all day and you have forward head posture, and you're somebody who just really gets fatigued at the end of the day, and as each day goes, you get more fatigued at the end of the week, and you kind of rest, and it starts all over again. That's a pattern. That's a stress pattern that people have. So physical stressors, like sitting in a bad chair, looking at a computer, texting with forward head posture, things like that, create a lot of physical stress in our bodies, and it can create pain. And pain also leads to more stress. Okay?
Right.
So that's one way to manage it. Now if you do have a lot of physical stress, a great way to get that taken care of is go to a chiropractor. Okay? And that happens a bunch. We have it just so many times, multiple times a day, where people just notice the stress load has been taken off because we've started to adjust them. Their posture is getting better, they're breathing better, they have more energy, things like that. And then that even leads to sleeping better, less pain medications. So that's a big help right there. Other stressors, like this is the holiday season, and so during the holiday season, there's a lot of people who are stressed out. And so I'll talk to my patients, and I'll just say, hey, how you doing? What's going on with Thanksgiving? And we did that today. Today's Wednesday, by the way. And I was talking to a lot of people, and one lady, she's going to like 4 different Thanksgivings.
Oh my goodness.
So she's actually dating a guy, and she's gotten engaged to him, so she's going to 4 different houses to chow down. And I'm not envious of her.
I kind of am.
When I was young, I would be envious, but as I'm getting older, I just hurt myself when I go to Thanksgiving. It's not even Thanksgiving, it's gluttony is what it is. But so that was what she was going to be doing for Thanksgiving. And then of course that comes with trying to, what do you call it? You know, your new potential relatives trying to keep
Oh
up,
yeah,
keep the dream alive, or keep the.
I know what
whatever
you're
it is.
saying.
You know, you want to put your best face forward, but how can you continue to put your best face forward as you keep eating with these people, and you know, so
That is stressful.
false. What do we call that? Putting a false. People expecting things from us, and us trying to deliver continuously.
Expectations.
Trying to live up to other people's expectations, like relatives, or that you're never going to please. That's a form of stress around the holidays.
There's a lot of that.
Yeah.
Around.
Or cooking your favorite dish and wanting everybody to go ooh and ah. I mean, that's stressful. Cooking so much food, it gets to the point where a lot of the people that cook food are stressed out.
Yeah.
You know. So then I talked to another gal, and she just said, you know, I'm not going to Thanksgiving. And I was like, oh, what's up? She says, well, my daughter's dating this guy that is an alcoholic, and he's very violent. And, you know, and I thought, wow, that's pitiful. So she was wanting to stay home and stay away from her daughter's boyfriend.
That's a sad story.
It is, but it happens a lot. Now, I'll just get on a rabbit trail here, but when you shut things down with COVID, people are staying home with relatives that aren't necessarily healthy to be with. Children are staying home. You know, a lot of people don't realize this, but a lot of the government-funded mental health facilities are shut down now.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah. I know, I have a family member that has mental health challenges, and he goes to a daily place where he can live with people during the day, and it really helps out because it gets them in a schedule, and they do activities and stuff like that. That's shut down. So those folks are now staying home, and it just throws everything off.
So they close them for the holiday?
No, they close them for COVID.
They're shut down. Wow.
Yeah. Now, it would be hard to manage that because it's really very contagious, and some
It's
of those
highly contagious.
folks are not very healthy, so it's just it's a very tough situation. So another thing is, you know, we talked about some of the stresses people go through during the holidays. You know, say you went through a divorce, and now you're lonely, and Thanksgiving has changed, the holidays have changed. Say you lost a loved one, or say you've got a child that's sick that you've been dealing with for a long time. Say financial issues, relationship issues, just so many things that accumulate over a long period of time. That's accumulated stress load. And what that does is that causes your stress hormones to elevate. And when that happens, you'll lose energy, you gain weight, you have issues with your blood sugar. And a lot of these people can get very emotional, that kind of thing. So, you know, so you want to try and make sure you're sleeping good. You want to make sure, I call it stress relief cardio, where you get out. Like I just recently picked up with, we've moved to Cross Plains now, and I've got a great neighbor, and we started talking, and we were just like, hey man, let's start walking. So we're walking together. We'll walk about 30 minutes every morning. And that's called stress relief cardio because you not only help get your heart rate up, but you're not getting it to where it's really intense, but you can still talk. And so you're getting your heart rate up to a comfortable level where you can still talk and share. And so that's great for stress relief. So you can talk to somebody, you can have light cardio exercise. You do that 3 times a week, that's going to increase your HDL, which is a happy triglycerides.
Yes.
Which is what you want to do.
Yes.
Yeah, so sleep is a good strategy, you know. Do all the stuff you need to. Don't be watching axe murderers before you go to bed, right?
Well, I don't know. There's some good movies on at night.
Yeah, but you're not going to sleep good. See, one of my challenges is when I get during the holidays, it's like, oh man, I don't have to work tomorrow. I can stay up all night, and watch movies, and
I'm
chill
guilty.
out, and that really throws me off.
I do that.
Yeah, and so if you're one of those night owls or somebody that likes to stay up late when you got some time off, you know, we'll have this happen a lot during the holidays or during Thanksgiving. They'll come in and like, man, I didn't do anything, man. I just stayed home. I sat around and rested. And then you start talking to them. Well, you know, I stayed up till 2 or 3, and, you know, I went out and drank with some friends, and we had a lot of food. You know, that's not rest. That's really creating more stress on your body. And guess what? You know, we had Halloween where the kids get bombarded with sugar, and the adults do too.
Yes.
Believe it or not, when you eat sugar, it shuts down your immune system big time. It really does.
I'm in trouble.
Yeah, it does. So sugar is one of the biggest offenders, and then a lot of the food additives are really terrible, but that's a chemical stressor. Alcohol is a chemical stressor. So those are the things that lead to more dis-ease and more of a likelihood that you can have loss of immune function and get the COVID virus, okay?
Yeah.
So we talked about emotional, we talked about physical, we talked about chemical, all right? So, you know, it's really important to, you know, address the chemical. Exercise. And don't do crazy exercise where you're going to hurt yourself or put your body into a stress mode. Use common sense. Other physical things that can help reduce stress in your body physically would be chiropractic care. That's very beneficial. Focus on your posture. Work on core exercises. Those always yield tremendous results for reducing overall stress on your body and keeping the immune system functioning better. And then chemically, you know, eat more vegetables, eat healthier foods, stay away from the processed foods. You know, like here, good old walnuts.
Oh, they're healthy.
Omega-3. You want some?
No, sir.
You don't like them?
I do like them. I'm just not in the mood for a walnut.
Okay. I'll have some walnuts.
I love
These are really good.
almonds, walnuts, and cashews. And I know cashews aren't the best for you,
Yeah.
but that's my favorite.
So the walnut has some really good fat in it. And when you have blood sugar issues, which is a chemical stressor from eating a lot of sugary processed foods, you'll go through these periods where, excuse me,
While you're chewing, I was going to say about sleep.
yeah,
If I can back up, since where I work, they've sent us home to work from home again. So we're back
Okay.
working from home again. But that cuts an hour off of my morning.
mm-hmm.
Or actually almost, it cuts an hour and a half off my morning. So I've taken that time and scooted it to the back of my day.
Mm-hmm.
And now my sleep schedule is different. Is that going to be a problem, even though I'm still getting 8 hours?
Well, that's another stressor is when we use the daylight saving time.
Oh my goodness. Don't get me
I
started
still
on
don't think
that
I've recovered from that. I'm going to bed usually about 9 o'clock,
Yeah, me too.
you know, and I'd usually go to bed about 10 o'clock, but
There's no reason we
I don't
still do
understand-
it.
I don't understand why we do it.
I don't either.
Yeah.
I understand why it started. I don't understand why it continues. But that's a whole different subject. And
Yeah.
you were talking about healthy snacks.
Yeah, so, you know, have something like this when you start craving. This is just walnut pieces. They're supposed to be organic. Simple Truth
I believe they are.
is the name of the company. I get them at Kroger's. But those are really good to snack on when you're craving something, and it's got good omega-3 fats in it. Omega-3 fats will help stabilize your blood sugar. It also has some protein in it, very low carbohydrates, so that's one of my go-tos that I like to have. But always have a food that you can go to when you're craving something. Typically, people fall off the bandwagon, or they, you know, during Thanksgiving, I mean, you all
Oh,
this
yeah.
dessert, thousands of carbohydrates during the weekend, and then it's almost like you're just on a carbohydrate binge, and then Monday comes around and you're just depressed, you don't want to go to work. You know, that happens a lot with people during the holidays. And that whole setup is perfect for COVID. Okay? So COVID is contagious enough, but when you throw on all these extra stressors, it becomes much easier for you to get COVID. Okay. And once you have COVID, your immune system can respond more appropriately, and if you give your body what it needs, like good rest, good nutrition, plenty of water, exercise.
Vitamin D.
Yeah, vitamin D is a big one. Zinc, a lot of your minerals are critical. And the thing is, the things that they're talking about are really in just good whole foods that you eat. Like these walnuts here, they have a tremendous amount of minerals in them. They got lots of vitamins in them, protein. So, so eat a wide variety of whole foods. But I don't know, any other questions about stress? Any other questions? What we could do is just tie in how stress turns into loss of immune function. Okay, so let's just say, is there something, make something up that stresses you out. Just make this kind of funny.
Okay, I got to go to my in-laws' house, and let's say I don't get along with my sister-in-law.
You don't get along with your sister.
And I'm going to be stuck hours in the same room with her.
Well, that's kind of like a temporary stressor.
Well,
let's say you're scared of, I don't know, worms or boogeyman.
I'm scared of snakes.
Snakes? And you think there's snakes in your house every time you go into your house. You don't get sleep.
I would move.
This is a bad idea. It's not very funny. It's actually being more stupid than funny. So what happens is, stress is not stress unless it's perceived by, how do we perceive stress? What organ?
The brain.
The brain, right here, okay? So if we're, say, late on our bills, or if we've got a relationship that's going south, or we're trying to please our future relatives because we're dating somebody and we want to marry them, that stressor affects your brain. Your brain controls your whole nervous system. So what happens is, there's this thing called the hypothalamus. They call it the thermostat. It's the regulator of your breathing, your temperature, all that stuff, all that cool stuff. It just takes care of everything naturally. Well, your hypothalamus is part of your limbic system. Your limbic system is where your passions, your desires are located. Emotions, libido, all that. And so it hits that limbic center, the stressor does, and then all of a sudden it puts your brain into override where you start stressing out. So when you start stressing out, there's two parts to your nervous system. The system we're talking about is the autonomic nervous system. We'll just call it the automatic nervous system. It's stuff that happens with, you don't even think about it. The way your temperature is, your breathing, your heart rate, going to the bathroom, digest your food, just everything is controlled by that. So all of a sudden you get stressed out, and what happens is your heart rate goes up, your breathing rate goes up, you can't sleep at night. And so the part of your nervous system that gets activated with stress is the fight or flight. Okay? So the fight or flight, God gave that to us. So if we get in a situation where we need to fight somebody or run or protect our family, it gives us that adrenaline, that extra burst of energy to escape, to live another day, that kind of thing. And it's very appropriate. We need that.
Yeah.
Okay? And so when that happens, it spikes for a little while, and then it goes back down. All right? But if you continuously worry about something that's not going to happen, it's there all the time, it never goes down. It stays up here. So fight or flight kicks in. When fight or flight kicks in, this is the deal. Just weird stuff starts to happen. I'll watch these animal shows. This is kind of weird and nerdy. But I'll watch these animal shows where big bears are fighting each other. They call them Bruins. They weigh easily 1,000 pounds apiece. They could just take their claw and just wipe your head off the shoulder.
Sure. Yeah.
So they're fighting, they're tearing each other up, and they're both defecating.
mean.
Yeah, it's disgusting. Yeah. But the thing is, what's happening, it's a perfect example of what sympathetic dominance does. You don't need your bowels. You don't need to carry poop, so you just poop your pants. That's
I'm not
it makes it easier when you're stressed out. So if you ever get in a fight, just poop your pants. No. It might get them to run away, actually.
I'd
Man,
run.
what's that smell? I'm getting out of here. Oh gosh, this is probably going to be really bad.
They tell everybody they knocked the poop out of you.
Yeah. But so what happens, there's other things that are not important. Immune function is not important when you are running away from somebody or you're stressed out about something on a regular basis. So your brain makes it much less of a priority to have immune function when you're in fight or flight. It just doesn't function. Okay? So on the other side of it is the parasympathetic is about rest, growing, repairing, rejuvenating, getting rid of dead things, bringing in new things, all that stuff. That's immune system function, okay? And so what happens is that system just doesn't function like it should be when we're stressed out all the time. And guess what? That's where the cancers come in. That's where the viruses come in. That's where we get sick. That's where we get a lot of disease. Most people don't understand that, but that is how cancer takes place. A lot of people, when they get a severe amount of stress over a lifetime, they can get really sick, deathly ill. So I think that's about it. I think I kind of went in circles here, but anyhow, I don't have anything else to say. Anything?
I do. I would like to invite everyone to like our Facebook page. If you go on Facebook, it's White House Chiropractic. Just give us a thumbs up, and then check back often. We're posting some good posts during this holiday time, and we could use your help with the likes.
That would be great. Thanks for listening. I hope you all have a good Thanksgiving, and we may do another one next week, maybe. I don't know. What to do after you ate?
Yes.
Too much or something?
How to get rid of those 5 pounds.
Oh, yeah, 5 pounds. Anyhow, this is Dr. Chris Banning at White House Chiropractic. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, just give us a call at the office, and we'll try and answer your questions for you. Thank you. Okay. I ain't even talk about this, but whatever.